Check 1 2 1 2 1 2.
What's up? What's up?
Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. What's good, everybody? Welcome to this edition of Blackout Sports Knicks. The Knicks are 2-2. Some concerns for the Knicks being 2-2. 2 straight games the Knicks lose, and in 2 straight second halves, the offense and defense crumbles. Karl Anthony Towns struggling offensively. We'll get into that. Plus, would you trade Jalen Brunson for Giannis Antetokounmpo? People at WFAN think so. And we have post-game comments from Mike Brown, Jalen Brunson, and Karl Anthony Towns that we're going to get into. Plus more, man. If you're tuning in, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Yes, I am your future favorite sportscaster, Matthew Wilson, here to bring you the latest in Knicks news, along with my co-host, my brother, the one that bleeds orange and blue, Ken Castro. How you doing, man? Let the people know what's up.
What's up, everybody? Appreciate you, Matthew, man. And yeah, we are sitting here another take after this 2-2 start, man. Not too excited, but not early season, man. But shit, because you know why I say shit? Because it's winnable games.
Yes, it is.
Games we had in the bag. We should be 4-0. We'll get to that, and then even just to briefly, man, touch on that topic about will we trade Jalen, man? We'll talk more about that. But damn, this is what New York media is all about, right? Like New York fan base, right away, ready to just hang you loose, let you go. Sometimes we'll talk about that.
Yeah, man, we will get into it. But first, let's go ahead and break down the game real quick, man. I got just a couple of points for me. Like I said in the beginning, the Knicks lose to the Milwaukee Bucks last night. Giannis went on a rampage, and so did Jalen Brunson, by the way. Another heroic performance from Jalen Brunson, 37 points. Could have did a little bit more, getting the squad involved with assists. Had a scary fourth quarter where he took a little bit of a tumble. Jalen Brunson looked like he was going to be injured. He said that he's fine. Mikal Bridges stepped up. I said last show, you heard me say, like I felt like it was going to be a showing from Mikal Bridges because his name is being tied to the Giannis trade talks. He stepped up last night. But once again, the Knicks scored 71 points in the first quarter. That offense looks proficient. Cat only had like 4 or 5 points in the first half, but the offense was still cooking. Second half, things fall off again, man. So what's your analysis of the game from last night with the Milwaukee Bucks, the loss?
I think that Knicks early on first half capitalized right on a lot of Milwaukee mishaps, a lot of mistakes, players getting going early, which has been really the take, right? Like the tail of the games so far. Every game we played, all 4 games, we start off good. We start off great with some mistakes here and there, but we get going. It's that second half. It's something about coming out flat-footed second half and giving that life, allowing the breathing room for the opposite team to just kind of step back into it, right? We saw it from every single game, like the Celtics, Cavs, everybody. The Heat came out gunning second half, and so did Milwaukee, right? And we just can't have 20-point quarters while we're allowing 30 plus points in every quarter after the half.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the biggest things, still not getting Cat involved.
Mm-hmm.
Not getting Cat involved, that's huge. 8 points for the game on 2 for 12 shooting. He took less 3-point shots. So that means out of those misses, right? He missed all 3 of his 3-point shots, brought it down, right? We talked about he's not a volume 3-point shooter, but he's also needs to get in the groove. Went to the free throw line, made 4 for 4. But really never seemed comfortable. And honestly, I think he's more or less frustrated. And you can see it. I don't think Cat's the type of player to let somebody like Kyle Kuzma stop him in the post. And that's what we saw. I saw that and I was baffled. I was like, wait a second. Unless Kuzma put on like 25 pounds of muscle I didn't know about, Cat should be bullying this dude. And he wasn't. He tried to take him in the post once or twice, and Kuzma just held him up. And that was alarming, right? Because either either Cat's frustrated and just not in the group, or Cat's and I've heard the rumbling that Cat's dealing with something like a lingering injury, and that could be it, right?
I think it's a hamstring.
So
yeah,
honestly, I'd rather let him get healthy, let him sit him, right? Like instead of forcing the guy out there, sit him. And if we're experimenting with the lineups, cool, rock, right? Like let OG and Macau and like some of these other guys step up offensively, right? Let Cat sit. Give the Huck Porties more minutes. The guys like the Awara, Huck Porty more minutes, right? Let them be defensive stalwarts and not focus on their offensive game, right? We could get the offensive, as we saw, Macau put in 24 efficiently, 8 for 16, 3 for 7, or 3 for 7 from the 3-point line, and all 5 of his free throws.
11 rebounds. 11 rebounds.
3 of those were offensive rebounds too. So let Cat get healthy. If we're seeing the struggles and it's because of that hamstring and his frustration at that too, look at him and be like, listen, we're invested in you. Whether the trade talks are happening, which we know they are, right? At this point, let him get healthy and give him a couple games, right? Like stop forcing that hamstring, because then something happens further to make it a month, 2 month where he's actually sitting because we let him force it out there. We're not trading him like that, and we're also not going to have him. So we're going to have this both shits end of the stick on that one. So
yeah. I hear you. I'm maybe, I guess I didn't think about the hamstring injury possibly being the reason of why Karl-Anthony Towns is struggling offensively. I'm more so have looked at it like he hasn't like I remember when they asked him the question before like the season began about like how he felt about his role, and you could see the uncomfortability there, and now it's translating on court. And even when we'll get to the post-game comments, they even asked him, Mike Brown said that he feels like Karl-Anthony Towns has the hardest role in order to adjust to this new offense, especially with Mitchell Robinson being out. We'll try to get into what's going on with Mitch during the show too. But Karl-Anthony Towns has the hardest learning curve out of all the starters for the New York Knicks because of this new up-tempo offense. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, they probably just need to get Cat the ball early in order for him to be more engaged, and maybe that'll help with him defensively as well. Forgetting the fact that, like you said, he has a hamstring injury, so it's a good point out by you.
No, and it's easy to forget that, right? Like because we see him moving, we don't see him complaining or grimacing, right? Like he's trying to ball. I don't think he, as much as people might give him gripe, and I do too, right? Like sometimes I'm hard on Cat, but he's not coming out in these post game right interviews and saying, "Hey, I'm not at 100%." So it is what it is. No, he's frustrated. He knows this isn't how he should be performing. He wants to do better. But if it's holding him back, and anybody who plays in the post knows, right? Like you got the hamstring, you're not really powering through, which would completely explain Kyle Kuzma being able to hold his own against Cat in the post.
Yeah.
So
but still hurt or not, you can't
exactly.
You can't let Kyle Kuzma body you and keep you out of the post. Because I said it in my halftime recap that it was like I did put blame on Jalen Brunson for not looking to get Karl-Anthony Towns involved in the first half like he should. I blame Mike Brown, and I got some issues with Mike Brown, especially when it comes to play calling at the end of the game. It kind of seems like he's still letting him run an up-tempo, free-flowing, like motion-type offense. I didn't see any set calls within the last 2 minutes when the Knicks were trying to make a comeback. You know what I mean? So, but it's Kyle Kuzma. There was a lot of times where I saw Karl-Anthony Towns, he had an opportunity to get in the post and get himself going, but it felt like the aggression just wasn't there from him.
It was lacking 100%, and I agree with that. I think to play devil's advocate for Mike Brown, I think that he's using the beginning of the season, right? Like because honestly, what he's seen from the championship teams he's been around, right? Like the Warriors, is that, there might be a couple set calls that Kerr does late game and tight games, but really at the end of it, the players know what they got to do, right? They know their scouting report, they know their assignments, they know what they need to be going to, or the spots they need to be getting to, because of their matchups, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think he wants to see what lineups can dig themselves out of a hole without much of without these set calls, right? Every 2 seconds, right? Like if I got only one timeout and 3 minutes left, I can't use it to set you up. Get yourself going, crawl out of this, and then when we're within 2 or 4 points, I'll call a timeout, right? And then this is what we're gonna do to try and get past these last 2-3 points, right? Think that we might criticize them, but I think that it's good. It's good to see early, like what players got it, who can who can gnaw and claw at these leads in the last couple minutes, right? So and it's good to see who meshes together during that time frame, right?
Right.
You know you're gonna put the Mikal out there. You're gonna have Brunson, OG. Right now, I think what he's truly looking at, who's that 5th guy around Cat, OG, Bridges, Bronson? Who's that 5th guy to finish games? Right? And I think that's where the experiment is, right?
Yeah. And it doesn't, it's like I'm not too critical of Mike Brown. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of feel like there's more things that they can do to get Karl-Anthony Towns involved. It's early, so it's not something that I'm panicking about. It's only 4 games at this point. Like he said, he believes Karl-Anthony Towns is going to have the hardest learning curve to get involved in this offense and this showing. But to your point about the lineups that he's using, people forget, man, Mitchell Robinson is out. The fifth player, the 6th player that you're wondering who can give them that spark. Jordan Clarkson had a good game. Landry Shamet started, gave them 16 points off the bench, a few threes. But the key piece that's been out these past couple of games is actually Miles McBride. So that player that you're probably looking for to add to this starting lineup to kind of give them a little bit of oomph, especially in the 4th quarter where you need defensive stops as well as offense. Miles McBride is the perfect candidate for that, but he's been out for the couple of games, and the Knicks see how much they miss him.
Yeah, and honestly, that's our Mr. Big Shot right there. Like, how many times over the course of last season did we see him just step in, like just the ball getting swung and he catches it, steps right into a big 3, no fear. So he's been missed these last 2 games, which common denominator, right? We win the first 2, he plays, right? We drop these 2, look a little kind of like confused coming out the gate in the second half. We don't got McBride, right? Which could help, right, balance out some of that lackluster offense in the second half, right? So I think once we get him back, once he's done with whatever's going on, I think that'll be a good look, right? I think that to be honest with you, I think also we got another person. Like we're right now talking about Cat's woes, but we're not looking at another key Knicks woes. Because Cat Swolls is so much in our face, and because of the trade talks, we're getting it thrown out there. But Josh Hart, I think Josh also has a huge learning curve on where he fits in this Knicks rotation and offense and lineup in this new year, right? Like we're talking about, he was like almost a double, triple, almost close to triple-double machine last year, right? His numbers are real low, only 4 boards. Like I don't remember the last time we talked about Josh getting less than 8 boards a game, right? I think that's a big one right there. Yeah, he attributed 4 assists, had 2 steals, but I think that, you know, the 2 steals gets offset with the 2 turnovers he gave up. It's really, really huge, man. Like I think that his stats have taken a hit from last season. But he's also nursing an injury too, right? So it's really, we got key players that possibly we're seeing dips from. They're suffering from injuries.
Yep. And Josh Hart is going to be key to this Knicks success, because when we talked about who potentially this 6th man of the year candidate could be, we automatically kind of jump to Miles McBride as possibly being that candidate, to Jordan Clarkson to being that candidate, forgetting that Josh Hart was a starter last year, and the Knicks won 50-plus games and went to the Eastern Conference Finals with him being a starter for the New York Knicks. So we talk about, like you said, that's a great point. We talk about how Cat has this learning curve for totally forgetting that now Josh Hart has to have a different mindset coming into these games, now coming off the bench and having to get himself going through the game, and especially suffering that bad back injury during preseason. There's a lot of time that Josh Hart possibly missed. So that chemistry with Josh Hart isn't necessarily where it needs to be at this point of the season.
Yeah, so we got some key things to keep an eye on over the next, I'll give it the next month, see how everything progresses, and we'll have a clear vision after 30 days, right? Once we're 20 games in, right, we'll be able to say, okay, we know the direction the Knicks are going in. We see how these lineups are, because he's going to clean up the lineups within the next 20 games.
For sure.
You'll see the rotation become a lot more clear. And it'll also be matchup based, right? Some rotations will depend on the matchup there, who they're facing off, and what's the athleticism and what's the length and what's the shooters look like on the spacing.
Yeah, because we've seen lineups with Pacone Dadier in preseason. We've seen matchups with him putting Harportier in the starting lineup. Last game against the Milwaukee Bucks, Shamet got the start. I wasn't expecting Shamet to get the start at all, but it showed it paid dividends with him being able to hit those threes and score 16 points off the bench. But for sure, the starting lineup and rotations will be solidified by game 20, and they should be. They should be. But speaking of second half woes, man, I just want to play a little clip for everybody. Here's Mike Brown's response to a reporter asking him how he feels about the offense and the team doing great in the first half, but stumbling later in the second half. Here's what his point was, and I want to get your reaction to what he said. So
why do you think you guys didn't uphold this standard coming out of the locker room and into the third quarter?
We're still trying to find our way a little bit, and maybe we need to get hit in the mouth a few times to really respect it and understand it.
Maybe we need to get hit in the mouth a few times before we understand that we need to keep the focus that we had in the first half and apply it to the second half. What's your reaction to what Mike Brown said about that?
Man, that is I think it's keeping it real, right? Like, as much as I think that I heard, right, some complaints from former players like Matt Barnes talking about Mike Brown is not tough. He's just too nice, right? And coming out and saying, hey, maybe these players need to get smacked in the mouth, right? Come out still focused, not making these mental mistakes that they're making, right? Like these silly mistakes and letting teams come back. Maybe they need to get smacked up a couple more times, right? So they can wake up and get some urgency and feel and understand nobody's gonna just let you walk all over them. Oh, you came into the half up 20, we're gonna let you win just because you're already up 20. So I think that's also a little bit of a tuning of the narrative of who Mike Brown is, right? Been hearing too much about Mike Brown ain't it. He ain't the guy. Too nice. Players don't respect him. Well, we'll see. We'll see. He got no problem saying, hey, they're gonna get smacked.
I don't buy into this Mike Brown isn't a tough guy. Did you see the practice where he's running up and down the court while he's with the Kings and he's cursing the players out? That doesn't seem like a guy to me that's too nice and too passive as a head coach, in my opinion. And I actually love what he said in the press conference about letting the players figure it out, because we can't, even though they fired Tom Thibodeau and that was the right move in many people's eyes to try to get this Knicks to the next step, which is winning the championship, and they feel like they plateaued when Tom Thibodeau was coach. People got to remember this is the same mentality that Tom Thibodeau had with this squad, and why he plays them so many minutes is because, hey, I can give you the coaching all I can, but it's on you guys to implement that. It's up to you guys to have that energy every night. It's up to you guys to take accountability for your mistakes. And I can't be the one to bail you out on that court. You have to be the ones to do that. This is a high IQ team with Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, players like that who have played together for a really long time, a la Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, and Josh Hart, winning 2 national championships along with Dante DiVincenzo. So the chemistry is there. Jay Wright had that kind of same mentality with them that you guys figure it out on the court. There's nothing I can do. I can give you the plays and I can give you the game plan, but it's on you to execute that. I don't want it to continue too long, though.
Yeah.
When it comes to Mike Brown, don't leave it in these players' hands for too long to figure that out, because that's why I feel like Karl Anthony Towns is struggling, and I feel like he needs a little bit more help along in order to find his role solidified. Because the most concerning thing to me about Karl Anthony Towns is I expected Cat to start going off the minute we saw Jalen Brunson seem like he got hurt. It went off in my mind. He had 4 fouls at the time. That's something else he has to clean up, all the dumb fouls. But I had it in my mind like, okay, Jalen Brunson seems like they need to take him out of the game for a little bit. Even if they don't, Jalen Brunson still didn't have the explosion that he had earlier on in the first half after he tweaked his groin or hamstring, whatever it is, because they won't tell us what it is. Jalen Brunson won't tell us. But I felt like it was the perfect opportunity for Karl Anthony Towns to step up there. And I feel like it could have been a great time for Mike Brown to call a timeout, pull Karl Anthony Towns aside, and give him the game plan for the rest of the game. What do you say to that?
100%. 100%. They should have collected the team, pivoted a bit with the game plan, gotten the uses down, stopped running so much the game plan through Brunson and starting running through Cat. But I think that also we are watching the game, so we don't know. We see what we're seeing. We don't know how Mike Brown's seeing it. Maybe Mike was already saw Cat checked out, frustrated mentally, and was like, well, at this point in time, I can't trust you with the keys for the rest of the game, right? Maybe at that point in time, if he would have handed it to anybody, maybe you handed it to Bridges. And you're saying, hey, we're going to run everything through Bridges now. Right? Because he was being efficient. He was going out there and getting to his spots, getting his shot going, shooting 50% from the field, right? Maybe you run it through him. He did put up 24 points by the end of the game. So really, we're seeing it one way. We also we're seeing it as the fan, right? Hoping for our team to play good. Got to see it from that coach perspective, where maybe Brown was just like, you know what, Cat's too checked out at this point, too frustrated at this point. We can't reel him back in enough to run it through him. Right? Had that tweak maybe happen early second quarter, still early enough that you're like, all right, Cat, got to run it through you, right? You guys already know what these sets are that we run through Cat, run the motions through Cat. Second half, Bucks already putting the pace in. You got Giannis spinning all over people and doing everything he wants to do, and you got Cat picking up silly fouls, 3 turnovers. I don't think at that point in time Coach Brown was really too excited to try and run things to Cat. Right. And that's a conversation they need to have, right? Like Cat could have been mentally frustrated, but still could have handled it. That's an internal thing they got to deal with, right? This is Mike Brown's first year with Cat, right? He seen Cat as an opponent, first time coach, so they gotta figure each other out.
Yeah, true. And speaking of things figured out, Jalen Brunson seems like he has things figured out.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday, not yesterday, but Sunday against the Miami Heat, he had 37 points. Against the Milwaukee Bucks last night, 36 bag, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, 23 points by halftime. Jalen Brunson looked unstoppable. I do believe he went 14 for 26 from the floor, an efficient Jalen Brunson. And this is why I predicted him to be an MVP candidate, is because in my eyes, I'm seeing the progression of Jalen Brunson. It's not he's still ball dominant at times. There's certain possessions where Jalen Brunson is pounding the rock a little bit, but it's nowhere near as much as it was under Tom Thibodeau. There's a lot more motion to the offense with Jalen Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing Jalen Brunson handle the off ball, getting a lot of shots off ball, getting early 3 points. And when he sees a mismatch, he automatically goes after it. There's no pat dance. There's none of that. It's automatic. I'm gonna get to my spot and I'm gonna get this shot off. One of those possessions was even on Giannis Antetokounmpo himself in the first half, which opened my eyes to be like, okay, we are witnessing a new level of Jalen Brunson. What are your thoughts on Jalen Brunson's performances so far after these 4 games?
Man, and I think I pointed it out last breakdown. I'm just more astonished that I thought his numbers were going to dip. I thought his numbers were going to dip because less time on the court, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's playing a whole 10 minutes less than what he was playing a game last year,
mm-hmm.
and still putting up the same or more,
mm-hmm.
right? Like 36 points in the 35 minutes. He's scoring 1 a minute.
Mm-hmm. Second game, only 35 minutes as well. Second game.
Yeah. So it is really like, okay, right? We are seeing it. I'm seeing the efficiency, right? And like you said, like, it's yes, the ball dominance is there, but I think that not that I think you could see the ball movement and you could see out of everybody's shot totals, people are getting up shots, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just Jalen,
mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
We are almost at hitting, like he's taking about almost 30% of the shots, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine. He is the go-to guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
If that's his volume, that's his volume. I can live with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when we're talking about the rest of the team is taking up 70%, that's amazing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, that's amazing. And realistically, we are doing what Mike Brown wants, even if it's not just on the spray. We're trying to get in transition. We're trying to get some quick shots up, even from the mid range. We took 92 shots this game.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, I break it down for the people. 92 shots to Milwaukee 79.
Mm-hmm.
So Milwaukee only took 79 shots,
mm-hmm.
right? Of course, they were more efficient because you got Giannis. Giannis in that low, in the mid range and 5 to 10 feet from the hoop is almost unstoppable. He went 16 for 22.
Mm-hmm.
You live with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You live with that. It's the rest of the team you want to keep low. And really, they had Ryan Hollins step up for them.
There's always that one guy.
Random guy, bro. Like,
that one guy that cooks the Knicks every night. It's insane.
But you know what? I will say this. It's the curse. It's the curse of being a Knicks fan. The curse of being a Knicks, man.
Mm-hmm.
People want to ball against you.
Always.
Like these average dudes, average Joes, man, that could have been plumbers, want to come out here and drop buckets on you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happens, right? And we're gonna figure that out. But I like what I see. Even this loss, if we had to match up against Milwaukee 7-game series, we've taken it.
Yeah,
because Giannis can go for his 37. Rollins ain't dropping 25 every in a 7-game series. He ain't averaging 25.
No, definitely not.
No. So a lot of these regular Joe Schmoes aren't gonna drop these numbers on a nightly basis across 7 games against us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not worried about that. They could have their one-off throughout the season. We already know when the playoffs come, that's a whole new season. And what you did game 4, we forgot about. And we already got you. We already got the scouting report on you. We're already locking you in. I promise you, the second game we play against Milwaukee this season, I'm saying it now. Remember this. Hollins doesn't drop more than 14 points that game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to get
Fontecchio or whatever from Miami Heat. He's not doing that either.
Not Norman Powell, not Fontecchio. No.
Mm-mm.
And I tell you, because you get guys like Bridges, OG, that aren't gonna forget. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you came through, dropped 25. You were feeling yourself." Bet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
100%.
And I think that's one reason why I'm not panicking when it comes to this 2-2 start and how the Knicks look. Because if you look at the beginning of the season, compared to last season they couldn't beat Cleveland. Now, I understand Cleveland was injury riddled in that first game. Last year, that's still a game that the Knicks probably would have lost. You go against Boston, they don't have Jason Tatum, a lot of changes on their part. So maybe I don't count Boston because Boston looks a little trash. They had a decent lead on somebody today. I forgot who they was playing.
On Cleveland.
On Cleveland. Exactly. So when I look at these 4 teams that the Knicks have played, Cleveland,
the
Milwaukee, the Heat.
Only one that worries me, the Heat.
They don't worry me. The Heat don't worry me at all. And that's
you want to know the only reason I will say you gotta put respect on the Heat is the coaching. If it comes down to the X's and O's in a 7-game series, Spoelstra will outcoach Mike every time. I think Spoelstra, after Popovich retired, is the smartest coach in the NBA. 100%, hands down. Got to give him his flowers. Right now, he's still a young coach. I'd say he got like 20 years left ahead of him. He's going to be coaching for a very, very long time in this league and being very effective. That Heat team will never not be in contention because the player development over there, the coaching over there is just amazing. If we could steal Spoelstra, I would. Riley is not giving up Spoelstra for it's like a contract by blood down there, right?
What my man Jalen Rose said, not gonna be able to do it. Hey, and Spo is not going anywhere. But let me ask you this. If say we play the Miami Heat in the playoffs this year, how many games do you give them since you feel that way?
I say we go 6. We go 6. I'd say the Heat can steal 1 or 2. Like catches flat-footed, a cat game where he gets into foul trouble, right? Just the silly fouls to Bam. Because you're gonna get a random game where Bam's gonna turn into like baby Giannis, right? Like he's gonna get real aggressive for one game and do a little bit of everything. Almost have like have a smooth double-double, decent, great numbers. Gonna get Cat into foul trouble, and so you're gonna have at least 1. So that's a 1 that's given to him instantly, and a close second one. Like so, 5 or 6 games. More confident on the 5 than the 6, but I wouldn't be surprised if we got to take it in 6.
Okay, I was about to say I give him 1 game. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
like
it. You know why though? Because here's the one thing about the Miami Heat is that I understand how good Coach Spo is as a coach and the game plans he's able to implement. And yes, he's going to give Mike Brown some troubles when it comes to halftime adjustments, as we've seen lately. But it's just the Knicks just have way too much talent than the Miami Heat. And another thing, while we're going to get into Jalen Brunson's post-game comments after this, people forget how much Jalen Brunson looks at Miami as a part of his growth because of the turnover that he had a couple of years ago in the playoffs when they lost. So it's like, I feel like when Jalen Brunson sees Miami, it's a bull in a china shop. Like I'm scoring 40.
It's gone.
I'm scoring 40.
So Miami is Jalen's team, right? Whereas I say Bridges' team is the Celtics. You put Bridges against the Celtics, Bridges is like, brat. Like I am
two-way lockdown defender hitting threes.
Best defensive player in the league performing out here against the Celtics. That's Bridges, right?
That's Bridges, right.
Like I'm trying to see. I'm not gonna lie to you. Also, I think I also know who's OG's team. OG's team is the Sixers.
Yeah, it's true.
OG's team is the Sixers. OG turns into prime Kawhi against
the Sixers.
So our guys got their team, the teams that they're like, yo, when I see you, bells to ass, BTA,
What did the Sixers do to make OG that mad?
It was Embiid, bro. It was Embiid just flopping, landing on OG's leg, doing all kinds of nonsense. Like,
because I think
Embiid was doing too much.
It was a couple years ago when we saw the bag from OG. Like, we were like, we didn't know OG had this offensive repertoire where he's dunking on people, hitting threes at a high clip, shooting dribble pull-ups all time. We like, yo, OG, we didn't see this all season. You right, it is the Sixers. The Sixers bring that out of OG and Anunoby.
It just pulls it out of him, man. Like OG turns into a whole nother monster against the Sixers. So so we got our players who look at certain teams in the East. They're like, yo, we're coming for you.
Yeah. But Matthew Wilson here with Ken Castro, Blackout Sports, Knicks, going over the concerns of the season. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. If you're tuning in, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, man, and we appreciate that. Got some post-game comments from Jalen Brunson we about to get into. No, he doesn't want to talk about injury. But they asked Jalen Brunson about the struggles of this team, what he needs to do better. And Ken, I want to get your reaction too, man. So if you see anything in there that you want me to stop, just put your hand up. I'll stop it. We'll get into it, and then we'll go from there. Jalen Brunson's post-game comments after the loss to the Milwaukee Bucks last night.
First off, you got to give them credit. And then, we had it tied. But, I mean, we weren't playing the style of basketball we should have been playing in the second half. Kept it close enough until the 6-minute mark, and then the way we were playing kept up on us, and then we got out of hand.
Well, why do you think you guys, I guess, switched the way you guys were playing after that halftime?
I think we got complacent a little bit, myself included, and just got to keep the foot on the gas, keep playing the right way, and we can't lose our aggressiveness in the way we were playing. We were really fluid out there. We were just making plays for each other, and we had a lot of great shots, and everything was tough in the second half.
You took a pretty hard spill. It looked like what happened, and how did you?
I'm all good.
Was it a slip? Or?
I'm all good.
I love that about JB, bro. I love that. There's no excuses from Jalen Brunson ever. It doesn't matter if he tore his quad out there, and they ask him, hey, what's your availability for next game? I'll be there. I'm all good. Don't worry about it.
Yep,
I love Cat, man. I love Cat, man.
Man, like that. But you know what? That embodies these Knicks we got nowadays, right? And that's why I say fuck these comments that are saying ship them out. Like, I get it. You just saw Giannis do this easily, but did we not just see Cap do it just as easily on his end?
Exactly. Let's go ahead and get into that. Let's stop that, and we'll get to Karl Anthony Towns' comments after this post game. But I heard today, and it pissed me off. It pisses me off every time we have this conversation around Giannis, and this is why I don't want Giannis on the squad at all. I understand who Giannis Antetokounmpo is as a player. I understand the greatness of Giannis Antetokounmpo, an MVP candidate every night. We see what he did to the Knicks last night. And I will say this, though. Giannis wasn't playing that well in the first half yesterday. It was the Knicks, and it was the Knicks not being able to make shots, and then Giannis coming downhill. It's a recipe for disaster because Jalen Brunson said it in his post-game comments. We won't play him, but he said it. He said that he feels like the offense dictates what they do defensively. So like I said, when you're not hitting your shots, you said the shot total of the Knicks, I do believe 93 shots or something like 98 shots to 76 shots from Milwaukee, and the Knicks aren't making these shots, and you got Giannis with all these chances to come downhill and bang on you at this point because he's starting to figure out your defense, and you're letting your defense slip because things aren't going your way offensively. It's a recipe for disaster, whereas I'm seeing Jalen Brunson shine no matter the circumstance. And people have this tendency to forget that Giannis is a great superstar, yes, but are we forgetting what Jalen Brunson's contract means for the rest of his team and the players they were able to acquire with the contract that he has? So you want to ship out a superstar type player with a reasonable contract that has given you the credence to build through this bench, to then pay Mikal Bridges to come back and stay, to then pay OG Anunoby to be that two-way defender that you need alongside Mikal Bridges, which is what helped beat the Boston Celtics last year when everybody said that the Knicks had no goddamn chance. Jalen Brunson is the key to all of this.
Yep.
So there's nothing in my mind that tells me that the Knicks will win a championship regardless of how great Giannis is, because we've seen how it looks when the New York Knicks go out and get that shiny object, something that James Dolan pointed out, that shiny object that he talked about on the Roommates podcast with Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart hosting it, saying that he doesn't want to do that. He wants this team to grow organically. Why would you get rid of the piece that started it all, and who, like I said, is a potential MVP candidate? Because let's not act like we're seeing Jalen Brunson's ceiling here.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson is getting better game by game, and now these 37, 36 points happening in 35 minutes are starting to become a consistent thing. It's not like, okay, 1 week he's scoring 25 and then he has a 36-point game here or there, and I understand it's only 4 games, but there's nothing in his performance that shows me that this won't be a consistent thing unless Karl Anthony Towns is starting to step up. And then Cat's like, okay, I could pull back the reins a little bit. I'll get this 28 this game or this 26 this game.
Yeah.
But with him not dominating the rock the way he has in years past, and you're starting to see an elevation in Jalen Brunson, saying to me that you would trade him for Giannis Antetokounmpo, regardless of how great Giannis is mind-boggling to me. What do you say?
Honestly, I agree. I agree 100%. Like, I will say, even from a philosophy standpoint, right? We are in the midst of finally fixing Knicks culture, right? 4 players around the league, right? 4 players to be like, maybe playing for Dolan and the Knicks ain't that bad. Right? Mm-hmm. Look at JB. Took a team-friendly contract. They brought in pieces around them, right? Mm-hmm. Once you ship out Cap just for Giannis, right? Like, because you're like, oh, this is an upgrade. You send the wrong message. You send lack of loyalty, right? Like, he showed you he was loyal to the building, to the fans, to the city, right? Mm-hmm. Like, he believes he could bring that chip here. He's like, you will give me the contract I deserve after I hoist that trophy for you. Mm-hmm. Pay me on the back end, right? I'm gonna bring the hardware home, right? Mm-hmm. Once you ship him out, it's like lack of loyalty in my eyes, right? Like, as a Knicks fan, I'm like, oh, we're back to the old ways. Mm-hmm. We're back to the old ways of just chasing after people, because I'm still one of the big people, man. I still go back to it. Like, I hated the Melo trade, not because I don't like Melo,
because of what we gave up for Melo.
Because of what we gave up for Melo.
Yeah, right.
Knowing Melo was up front about coming to us. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think there was ever a question that if we didn't trade for Melo, that he wasn't coming that summer.
Right.
I think we can all agree on that. Melo was going to be a Knick no matter what. Mm-hmm. We gave up the bag for him. Mm-hmm. We gave up the bench for him. Mm-hmm. And then he just had Amari with, like, him and Amari with no help. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And they did add pieces later on, and I do believe that Knicks team underachieved with Tyson Chandler, Chauncey Billups, Jason Kidd, and they underachieved J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert. That team, that was a nice team. Landry Fields, that was a nice squad.
You look at it, the Iman injury set us back, right? That Iman injury, because Iman was out there. Two-way player galore, exactly what we needed. Nitty gritty, wasn't afraid of guarding up. When you saw him having no fear to step up to D Rose, MVP D Rose, you know you had a special talent defensively, right? Injury set him back, but you could tell, like, even with my boy, I was a huge fan of him. Like the life of Pablo coming off the bench,
Pablo Prigioni, yeah, my guy,
the life of Pablo right there,
yeah.
My guy was coming off the bench, oldest rookie in the league. But you know what? Like, we had pieces and we had the vets to lead in Tyson Chandler and Jay Kidd, right? Like, I truly believed in that squad. I just don't think that. I think that injuries, I think that some egos, I think it just derailed everything. Because also, like in later years, Amari wasn't Amari no more.
Yeah.
Amari came in explosive, right? Set the tone. We got mellow, and then just couldn't stay healthy.
And Amari didn't like the Melo move either. I heard comments about. I think I read it today about how I think there's an interview out there where how Amari Stoudemire felt what held the Knicks back, and the first thing he said was Melo.
Of course, he's gonna feel that way because he came into New York, right? And Amari was like, "Yo, it's me, right? Like,
I'm bringing the city back." I remember he was in front of Madison Square Garden. And I remember that picture.
Right, like my man's had hands out. He looked like the second coming of a more explosive Ewing out there. We're like, yo, we got the big, we got the second coming of Ewing, right?
Yeah.
But then Melo comes through, and it's Melo's team now, not
Melo's team. It's Melo's team.
It's Melo's team. Ari went like, huh? How did this happen? Like, we just went from my team to his team. I'm Robin now. Like, so he felt some kind of way. But like, this is what I mean. Like, if we go back to that kind of culture, man, where we're talking about shipping the cap for Giannis, like, come on, man.
Yeah,
come on.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if people have watched Giannis's temperament over the past 8 months. I haven't liked it. Everything from him getting into it with Tyrese Halliburton's dad in half court and him smacking his teammate upside the head in Eurobasket, and the things that Giannis has said publicly and his frustration, and also the way he's handicapped this Milwaukee Bucks organization to keep him happy and to keep him there. I can kind of see James Dolan doing the exact same thing. So this Giannis for Jalen Brunson trade, if we get to that middle of the season and the Knicks are still struggling like this, and you want to pull a trade, you want to pull a plug for Cat, Mikal Bridges, and a couple more pieces, okay, and we have to be struggling at that point, Milwaukee has to do the same, okay, I could kind of understand that.
Yeah.
But you trading in the Giannis for Jalen Brunson piece, it just sounds horrific for the Knicks' future, in my opinion.
And also, we got to remember, like you pointed out, the contract, the money don't add up. So it's not just JB, right, that we're sending, because JB's contract don't add up to Giannis's. So we're giving up more than just JB, right? For what? To keep Cat? I'd rather give up Cat.
Yeah,
to get Giannis, because you know what, JB's shown to be able to play off ball, right? So Giannis will get him the rock in spacing, because you know what, when Giannis puts that ball on the court and starts rolling,
the defense collapses immediately.
Gotta collapse
immediately,
and a little quick kick to Cap's hitting that sweet three. So I'd rather see, if we gotta see any trade, Cat, I love you. Bodega Cat holding it down for my people, my Dominican, de lo mío. But you gotta go, right? If we gotta see anybody go, it's gotta be Cat.
Yeah.
I'd rather him stay, though. You hear me say I'd rather him stay. I think Cat could figure it out. But once again, it's just people talking, and this is the New York fan base, right? This is why I say you gotta be mentally tough to come to New York. Because as a fan base, we are so up and down. 4 games in the season, we're already like, and we see 1 game out of Giannis. We're like, yo, give me Giannis over JB.
Bro, can you imagine? Like I said, I want people to focus on Giannis's temperament lately. Can you imagine the Knicks trade Jalen Brunson for Giannis and the Knicks get bounced in the first or second? Oh my God. What? Yo.
Man,
hey, I don't know if Giannis is ready for that type of pressure, because Milwaukee's totally different than New York.
Exactly. He gets to do that shit in Milwaukee because they don't got the media coverage. in Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
He is on every newspaper outlet and talked about on every radio station in New York if he pulls that shit in New York.
Because I think they asked Giannis about the trade. Actually, they asked him after the game, like, there was reports in ESPN about you possibly wanting New York to be the destination if you wanted to be traded. And he was like, "Well, I'm focused on the Bucks now." Like, you didn't deny it, but Milwaukee will let you have that. Like, okay, all right, whatever. Maybe he still wants to stay. He's focused on the team. You think the New York media gonna let you get away with that without a few more questions? Like, I don't think that's not flying in New York.
My man's is getting crucified in the New York Post. New York Post instantly, Giannis, very cryptic post game, right? Does he want out? Like, it's boom, big bold letters. Like, no, he is not sliding with that type of attitude.
And they're asking you after every game.
Every game down at the bagel shop that you go try and get your bagels incognito. They're like, "Hey, Greek freak, you staying or you leaving?"
Yep. Hey, you not staying? Well, suck my. You already know how it's gonna go for Giannis, man.
Oh, and they're the type to boo you out the building. Oh, you're losing at home in the playoffs? Boo you out the building.
Mm-hmm.
You start getting some fraud chants. Fraud. Come on.
Yeah.
You even get some bring JB back. Boom, 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 boom. Like Giannis don't want to get caught in those chants.
Yeah.
The New York fan base is polarizing. We're diehards for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're diehards for a reason. Once you're not fucking, we're not fucking with you. It's a wrap.
It's over. But speaking of Karl Anthony Towns, man, let's get to his post-game comments. Salute to Knicks Nation for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. But I want to get your thoughts on Karl Anthony Towns, man, because he seems to be following the role of Jalen Brunson and not making any excuses, even when the media is trying to give him some. So here's Karl Anthony Towns post-game comments on how he felt about his game and how things are going for him in the offense during the course of the season after 4 games.
You guys had it tied with about
The first half.
A little bit. Hold on.
It's tough. I got to be better. I got to be tonight. Continue to work, and continue to put the work in, and get ready for the next one.
Mike Brown has talked about how because of you and the positions that you have to play and learn, like you probably have the steepest learning curve or the toughest job. Has it been a tough adjustment?
I mean, just I gotta do whatever is needed to win, and first half I played how we needed me to play, and the game I felt switched up, and I tried to get going just in case we needed me, and I just didn't make a shot, so I pressed a little bit too much today. I had more experience than to do that, but I didn't do what we needed to do to win tonight, and that's on me. And I take full responsibility on that. Accountability is something big in this locker room, and I always will do that.
All right, Karl Anthony Towns saying that he needs to take accountability, and he basically said how I thought the game went for him is that he was a little bit passive, trying to play the role that they gave Karl Anthony Towns to play. He said in the first half his role necessarily wasn't to score like that. And by the time it was time for them to call his number, he missed a few shots. He just didn't have it like that. He made some mistakes that trying to press that as a vet he knows that he's not supposed to do. He's talking about those drives with nowhere to go, bowling over people, getting those unnecessary fouls.
Yep.
But Cat taking accountability and following the role of Jalen Brunson and not making excuses. How do you feel about his Karl Anthony Towns post-game comments?
He's a leader. He's a leader on the team. Yes, JB's Cap, right? But who we look at him as the second, right? Like that's who they de facto right after JB, right? Is Cat. And had he started pointing fingers, not a good look, right? Not a good look, because you know what? Some of your frustration is spilling out on the court. We're seeing it. Silly fouls, right? Only you can control that. No matter what's happening coaching-wise or whether or not you're not getting the touches you feel like you should be getting, still on you, right? Still on you to make the best of your touches and not get the frustration and not get caught in this game, right? Not caught up in that mental game, right? So I think that him just saying like, "Hey, I got to be better. I got to be better." Like, I know there's the moments that I shouldn't have done what I did. These mistakes that as a vet I shouldn't be making, right? Like, I've been in this league long enough not to make those mistakes, but I made them. I got to be better. I love it. I expect nothing but more from Cat, right? 100%. Like, salute to him for just being able to say, "Hey, chalk it up on me," right? I played first half how the way I was asked to play. Second half, I forced things a little bit, went away from the game plan. This is what happened.
I think Cat's gonna be fine, man. I think he's gonna be fine because there's a lot more positives. Of course, like the fouls and him bowling over people, dribble into the hole because he's trying to get things going. Of course, those are huge eyesores for everybody when it comes to Karl Anthony Towns. But if you look at this offense as a whole, the team was able to score 71 points in the first half, and that was with Karl Anthony Towns only having like 4 points. So you just imagine how potent this offense is going to be if Karl Anthony Towns is hitting his threes. They're getting the ball to him in the post. They're spreading the floor for him to be able to have those dribble drives, maybe not from the three-point line. Maybe we could try to get him those dribble drives from the free throw line on down. I think that would help Cal out a lot.
Yeah, from the elbow down.
From the elbow down, I can handle those, you know what I'm saying? Those dribble drives from Cat. But from the free throw line, he gives the defense way too much time to collapse on him. They need to change that. But I honestly think it's just going to take them to get the ball to Karl Anthony Towns a little bit early, get his confidence going, and Cat be locked in for the rest of the game and be focused on not creating dumb fouls for this offense to really explode. And I think Cat is going to be the key. And we can't keep forgetting that, like you said, Josh Hart is on the bench now. So even that, forget Mitch, because Mitch wasn't there for 70 games last year. So he's used to playing without Mitch. But having less rotation minutes with Josh Hart in there, even though Josh, he kind of stays in while Jalen Brunson goes out. So him and Josh Hart play together. Like they said, Cat is playing a lot of different roles right now that he wasn't necessarily supposed to play this early in the season because Mitch is supposed to be there. But I think everything will work out just fine from Karl Anthony Towns. Last word from you.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that we are asking more of Cat, especially on the glass, having to crash more of the boards, right? Because he is used to somebody like Hart, right? Like Hart's crashing the boards, and all Cat got to do is now get down, get to his spot, right? Like he saw Josh get that, so now he's just hustling up court, right? Now he's the one having to crash more often, right? Crash more often, get it out to the ball handlers to come bring it up court. So you got him banging a little more bodies than he's used to early game, which I think that in tune, he's just a little more tired late game, right? A little more sloppy, right? I think that, to your point, they're gonna run the offense a little more through Cat next game. They got the Bulls next. If won't be surprised if Cat comes out with 15 points in the first half. Early start.
Who do the Bulls have on their roster, actually?
I'll tell you right now who they got.
Because that is a game that the Knicks should definitely win.
At center, they're running Nikola Vucevic.
Oh, that's lunch meat for Cat.
And at the 4, Matas Buselis.
Barbecue chicken for Cat. Well, I mean, it's easy for me to say that after what Kyle Kuzma just did to him. But that's that. If Cat wants to have a game where he's taking a center off dribble and he has that mismatch there, that's where he has Vucevic. If you want to implement him having more drives, Vucevic is going to be the guy he can do that to.
Yeah.
So
if you want him to feel himself, get into the groove, feel like he's part of the offense. This is the game right here against the Bulls, right? Because we know Josh Giddey, Trey Jones, Javon Carter, they ain't doing nothing to Cap. Those are the matchups being thrown at Cap right there. maybe some Ayo Dosunmu, right? Because I think Kobe White's out. Though these guys aren't slowing down Cap.
Yeah.
I also say I think we get a big game from OG.
He needs it.
OG needs a big game. Bridges, I think we just keep seeing consistency out of Bridges. Efficient offensive games, trying to guard up the best player on the other side. Bridges, whether the plus or minus speaks on his side, I think Bridges is doing his thing. Stepping into his role. This game, we talked about he needed more points. He came out and did it this game and was efficient about it. So I think he keeps on. He continues doing that.
Agreed, man. Agreed. Nice little 15, 18-point game from Mikal Bridges. I think he'll do just fine. We don't need the 23 from him in this game. I think those points need to be Karl Anthony Towns establishing dominance. Get back to the early season Karl Anthony Towns of last year, where he was still giving you 10 to 15 rebounds a game, but he's putting up 30 burgers on whoever he's guarding. I expect that Karl Anthony Towns to show up, man. But yeah, man, great show. Great show. A little bit over time. We're only supposed to do 30 minutes, but hey, man, the conversation got good. You know what I'm saying? Had to lock in a little bit. Any last words for the people, man? Let them know where they can follow you at and all of that.
They can always find me on IG at Ken_TGC or on YouTube at The Gaming Corner, right? So we'll be rocking on those locations all the time.
Yeah. And you can find me at Matthew Malik Wilson on all platforms, and also Blackout Sports on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and you comment there. You hit the like button and hit that notification button for all Knicks updates. We're starting to really get things rolling there. A lot of live shows. There's going to be breaking news up there. There's been game recaps. I've been doing halftime recaps. The fellas is going to help me out with those soon, so it won't just be me. You know, it's all a group community effort. Going to start putting up some community posts in a couple weeks, get more engagement from the people, see how you guys are feeling about the New York Knicks, man, and let's get this thing going, man. But we appreciate y'all for tuning in. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you was here with us. And we appreciate that, man. Y'all have a good night.